Hey, what is up, time for another comic book related video, and today's video is actually going to be a top 5 video. Top 5. I've recently been reading a lot of space Marvel. I read from Annihilation to the Thanos Imperative, so I've read basically all of the modern day space Marvel universe, excluding the Annihilators, which I do have, I just haven't read it yet. So I'm going to give you my top 5 spacefaring character, hero, anti-hero people. Like, I'm going to exclude the villains for something else, for a different video. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe if you guys want me to do a top 5 villains, you can tell me in the comments down below, and I'll do that for you. So, number 5 is Rocket Raccoon. I love Rocket Raccoon. He's well written. He's really funny. He's very intelligent. And he knows, and he's actually kind of a good, he's actually a leader. He's actually a very good leader. At some point in the comic, when the Guardians fall apart, he becomes the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy and does a good job with it. Rocket has always been a character that some people always think that is like, oh, he's just the goofball, he's the weirdo, he's the talking raccoon. When he's really not. He does have emotion. He gets very emotional when Groot dies during the Annihilation Conquest, but he ultimately comes back as a when he grows back. But Rocket didn't know that at first, and it's actually very almost echoes the movie when he sees Groot die. I really enjoy his wit, his intelligence, and his soft spot, you could say. It's a very well-rounded character. Number 4 is Richard Rider Nova. I didn't particularly like Nova at first, because I've been reading Sam Alexander, but I actually really find him an interesting character. His journey from being just a recruit Centurion in the Nova Corps, going from just being a recruit to Nova Prime in a matter of seconds, when the Annihilation Wave wipes out Xandar and he's the only Nova left and the world mind is within him, and that's it. There's only him. He's the protector of the universe, the human rocket. And his ability to overcome the odds and the ability to ultimately become the leader of the Nova Corps is a very interesting thing to me, because I kind of feel for him, because at one point he loses the Nova Force and he's going to die of cancer, but he ultimately gets the Nova Force back in him because of his friend, who actually gave him the Questar, the bands of when he's ultimately at one point given the quantum bands and becomes Questar for a very, very short time, but then becomes a Nova again. He accepts the fact that he's always going to have the Nova Force. He's never going to be free of the Nova Force. He's always going to have to be Nova, or he's going to die. And his reluctance to lead, but then he restarts the Nova Corps slowly, and his brother is part of the Nova Corps, and his wit, his charm, his all-around goofy nature, but he can also get really down to it. He can get really... He's from basically Annihilation to Thanos Imperative. He's always fighting. He's always fighting for the peace in the galaxy and what is right. So, number 3 for me is Ronan the Accuser. In the movie, he was portrayed as a ruthless zealot that can't be reasoned with, and he's just going around killing folk. Well, but in the comic books, he's not really. Yes, he does have that you could say that need to help the Kree people. That the Kree are the only thing he cares about. The fact that the Kree in Kree law is what goes down to his core, but he's also he's not unreasonable. He does have that softer side. He falls in love. He has that side of him where, like, when he sees Pietro talking to Crystal after they're married, and he doesn't turn that jealousy into rage, he turns that jealousy, you know, almost into shyness, almost into nervousness for someone who's so powerful, so full of life, so full of the ability to lead the Kree people. But he's not. He's always been someone that's fighting for the Kree and fighting for the universe, even if it's fighting against someone else that has attacked him. And so he starts a war, basically. And he has to defend the Kree people. Even if he knows that it's not particularly a good thing, he has to defend the Kree people. He has to defend the honor of the Kree. And then my number 2 is almost his polar opposite. Well, not his polar. His mirror image is the Galator, the former leader of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard and the current leader of the Shi'ar Imperium. Even during the War of Kings, when he was taking orders from Emperor Vulcan, he knew that Vulcan wasn't particularly a good person, but he was the leader. He was taking orders. He's a good soldier. He's a good. He led the Imperial Guard wherever the Emperor told him to go. A very good line from the Galator is that he safeguards the Shi'ar people and the throne of the Shi'ar people. And he was very reluctant to take up the Magister position after Emperor Vulcan is killed by Black Bolt. And even though he was very reluctant, he basically wanted anyone else to take it. He even wanted the Inhuman Crystal, Ronan's wife, to lead the people, because he's always seen himself as a soldier and not a leader of people. Like, he's been a commander, but not a leader. But that also gives him that relatability, that he doesn't particularly find himself to be the be-all end-all like some people do, where he knows his limits and he is the Galator. He is the leader of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, and that's what he's always in the front line of everything. When he needs to be there, he's there. So number 2 is Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock, you are introduced to in the Annihilation Conquest. And through Annihilation Conquest and through the War of Kings and the Realm of Kings, well, War of Kings more, he's very powerful. But he's also, he takes orders, but he knows if it's a bad idea, he'll do it on his own. He's very independent. He's the Warlock. And you see that switch when he knows that he's going to turn. He asks them to end it, and Star-Lord can't do it, but Star-Lord eventually does do it. But Adam Warlock is he's basically one of the most powerful people in the universe, but he doesn't particularly see himself as that. He sees himself as someone who is going to defend the universe, but not take it over, until when he becomes Adam Magnus and basically tries to take over the universe. But that's it makes him a very complex character, and it makes him very interesting. So my number 1, for sure, no question, by far my favorite character is Star-Lord. From Annihilation to Thanos Imperative, he's always there. He's always in the front line. Even when he thinks that he caused the damage, he's always trying to better the universe. Even as a measly human, as someone calls him, a Humie, he's always there. He's always leading the charge, even if he's not particularly the most powerful. He's always leading the charge. He's like he made the Guardians. He joined them all together. He basically saves the universe. He saves the universe on a daily basis, and people still think of him as just a human and just the Star-Lord or that goofball. But he's not. He's complex. He has emotion. there's one part where he's like, no, this ends. I'm not losing another Guardian. Because at one point he thinks that lots of basically half his team is killed. I really enjoy reading Star-Lord, and even in the new stuff, I still really enjoy Star-Lord. And his ability to rally the troops and talk to these people that are so important in the universe, are so powerful. He'll stand up to them and say, no, you're wrong. You need to listen to me. And that's why I just love Star-Lord so much. But I'm gushing too much, and that's about it. That's all I'm going to talk about in this video. If you want me to do any other top 5s or top 10s or whatever you want me to do, or review comics. I know I haven't been reviewing comics, but you guys aren't telling me to review comics, so I'm not really reviewing them. So I will see you tomorrow in my comic book haul list. And as always, I'm the comic that I comment, like, and subscribe to all of my videos because I'm just that awesome. Until next time, bye-bye.